I'm going to just speak a couple minutes, but then most of the session is going to be you actually getting to meet the students that are going to come up here and share personally with you about their projects, as well as the mentors. But I just want to say this project has been incredible. The partnership with Project Kinship, with Vanguard University, with Live to Free students. It's been, you know, when I heard the word kinship and I heard about Project Kinship, I love the word kinship and the way that Project Kinship talks about family. And I really feel like what happened here is we became a family, we became a community as we did this project together. And it really brought together a diversity, the biggest diversity you can think of. I mean, we had our most youngest person was 14 years old, and I think the oldest person was 65. We had culturally diverse group of people, Asians, Hispanic, Caucasians. We had people that came from all different social economic backgrounds, and what I love about it is that anybody can make a difference, and that when we come together as a community in our diversity, we can have a bigger impact as tying together our skills and tying together that diversity. Our vision is really to empower youth to transform their communities, and you're going to experience in a minute what those projects look like and what that impact looks like, and you're going to be invited also to be part of that transformation and to join us and this kinship to celebrate these children or these students, and also come out and really see them go in the bike ride. So they're going to present each of their projects. We're going to have some students present their projects. Then the mentors will come up and speak, and then we're going to have some awards. We have some special people coming in to acknowledge the students. We actually have the Chief of Police of Santa Ana here, so woohoo! We have another special guest that's going to surprise us, and then we're going to have all of you leave the auditorium basically and follow us out to the bike ride in the parking lot in the back, and all of the students are receiving bicycles. Yeah, bicycles is their award. And why a bicycle? I mean, for one reason, I'm a cyclist, and you saw I started this whole organization riding my bike across the country to raise awareness. But more than that, when we talk to students, we talk to people about bicycles. For someone I remember when I was a kid, a bicycle is the first time you have freedom. You get on a bike and you can go somewhere, right? It's not a car yet, but it's a bicycle. So the bicycles really symbolize that freedom. And so we're going to go outside. They're going to get their bicycles. They're going to participate in a bike parade. And we're so grateful, thank you God, that it stopped raining. So we actually get to enjoy that. So I am going to welcome up our first team, which is the social media team. Welcome the social media team. So we have Angelica and Ashley and Andrea, and I think you're starting with the video, right? Okay, so the video is going to go first.
Hi, my name is Ashley. This is Angelica and my mentor Andrea, and we are the Synergy team. We are the Synergy team because we are in charge of helping the other teams come together to create a greater effect than the separate agents.
So,
Angelica, you go next.
No, she's talking. Okay, well, they didn't give me the clicker, but our vision with this is to inspire others through the projects of the students.
One of the ways to achieve that is through social media, to show you all what the other teams are doing a little bit behind the scenes.
Every high school student can help out their communities in their own unique ways to end modern slavery.
A simple way to help us is by, one, taking out your cell phones right now.
Go to Instagram or Facebook and search up at the Freedom Ride Project.
So we're basically asking everyone right now, you're free to take out your phones, and if you can search for at the Freedom Ride Project at this moment, that can make a huge difference because you can help us to start spreading the word. We are actually making a lot of posts from today, so you can see yourself maybe and just share the word and help to share awareness.
Thank you for your support.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much for your support.
So next we have the Hope Alive team with Daisy and Daisy. It's Daisy and Daisy. They spell their names differently, D-E-Y and D-A-I. So. Oh, and Marissa Murrell, who's been their Live to Free coach.
Hi, everybody. My name is Daisy, and this is Daisy, and together we are the Hope Alive team and the Daisies.
I decided to create a hand painting, and what this painting means that, you know how colors have meanings? Well, this is how I wanted to make my painting. So the darkest, it represents that you think that there's no hope. You feel like you're just not gonna make it and everything. And then once you find the right solutions, the right people, just like you get to, you get to accept help and everything. So you pretty much grow. So once you accomplish it, that's where the gold comes from. Like, you feel like you're satisfied because you finally accomplished it and you're not that dark color anymore. So from there, I decided to create a flyer to help people that are trafficked. So right here in my flyer, I have awareness tips, prevention tips, and how to get help and resources. Thank you.
So what I did was create a pennant to be put in classrooms to bring awareness to students like me. And our motto on the logo, as you can see right there, it says, "Be the one," and that's what BT1 stands for. And the reason I chose Be the One is because I had a friend who committed suicide, and that really took a toll on me. And sadly, we sometimes don't care about issues until it's happening to one of our own. And so here I am today speaking to you in honor of my friend, encouraging you to be the one that extends a hand, be a smile for those who don't have a reason to smile, be a light for those who live in the darkness, and be the one to make a change. I believe that every story matters, every hurting heart matters, every tear matters, and every person matters. It's time for us to be the change that we want to see in the world. Because human trafficking shouldn't be allowed here, and that's something that we are not gonna tolerate. To finish off, people were created to be loved, things were created to be used, and the reason why the world is in chaos is because things are being loved and people are being used, and Valley High will not tolerate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy, Daisy, and Marissa. So now we get to meet the boys. So, mural team, are you ready? You ready? Okay. We have Ricardo and Jordy, Kevin and Jordy and Jimmy, and Joe is the artist. So welcome the mural team.
First things first, my name is Ricardo Rodriguez, and I would like to thank every single person in this room for coming by and supporting this project that us students are, trying to do for the community. And what I said in the other room was that I think people today can support the project by spreading the word more than what the mural can. And Reason why I said that is that so others can understand that every gender has the right to fight, and they should have hope even when they're feeling low. Many women or men aren't really happy because they're hurting in the inside, and the reason why they're hurting is because they have something bad attached to cover their mouth to keep quiet. And we don't realize it because we don't ask at all, and we don't, understand them. The project should be very important to the whole community because no human being should be going through human trafficking or anything that will put them in danger or ruining their lives. This is not fair to others, and those who don't understand, should speak up for the ones who are going through things like that. God created every single one of us to be fair and to stand up for one another. And that is why we are doing these projects, to spread awareness for human trafficking and to stand up for those who need someone to help them out with their situations and to help them smiling once again. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Kevin. And it's a pleasure working with my group members and my mentors. Since the beginning, before we started this, I didn't really know much about human trafficking. I thought it just had to do with sex trafficking, but it also has to do with labor trafficking. And I thought it would only happen to little kids, and especially girls, but nah, it happens to both genders, boys and girls, from teenagers from 13 to 18 years. They get sex trafficked into prostitution, and they also get sex labor traffic, which they could get forced to work without getting paid right, and forcing them to have sex without them being okay with it. I don't find this right, and I think this isn't right, and there should be a stop to it. My group decided to create a mural and express what human trafficking is and to prevent it, to make parents aware of their children so they can't be human trafficked. It could happen to anyone, it could probably happen to anyone in this room, a classmate, family member, and we don't know about it. And maybe that victim feels like there's no hope for them. But there's always hope, there's always a hand to reach to. They shouldn't feel alone because there's always someone that would always be there to help. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jimmy. I do restorative practice work at Valley High School. My job in this project was to recruit students for this project. Initially, I thought it was going to be tough walking around asking which one of our students wanted to take a stand against human trafficking, and I was wrong. That list filled up very fast. And after the list filled up, we started to discuss human trafficking. And to my surprise, a lot of our students had firsthand knowledge or knew people who were victims of human trafficking. Folks, I don't know if everyone in this room is fully aware of how much courage it takes for our students coming from a city like Santa Ana, where they're surrounded by gangs, surrounded by victims of human trafficking, surrounded by human traffickers. And never once did our students hesitate and think about pulling out. Actually, they became more motivated, when they realized how important this was in our community. So proud of all of you, and I just want you all to know it is an honor for me to stand with you all at Valley High School and say we are not going to allow this to happen on our campus. It is an honor to stand with you in our communities and say we are not going to allow this to happen in our communities. And it is an honor to work at a place like Santa Ana Valley High School, the first school in Orange County, to say we are not going to allow this to happen on our campus. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Linnert. I had the honor and privilege to work with these young men and create an image that represented their message. If you can look at the mural up here, that's the basic design of what we're going to go off of. The school mascot, the falcon, has its wings kind of in a protective kind of gesture with the idea of protecting the students and having like a high vantage point and being able to like kind of foresee some of the issues that are kind of they're facing. And then the students at the bottom basically represents the unity between the students and the support network that they're creating. We put a definition of the definition of human trafficking also to educate people on what that is. For me personally, it's been very inspiring to be able to work with young people that are, taking a stance on what they believe in. And like what Jimmy was saying, it takes a lot of courage for these guys to step up in their community and really voice what it is that they have to say. So for that, I'm very grateful to you guys for your time and all the energy you guys are putting in. So like that, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. And before we wrap this up too, we just wanted to invite you guys on. We don't have an exact date on when we're going to reveal our mural. The news stations are going to be there, and when the news is there, it's good. We're talking business. Yeah, we're talking about real business, So we want to invite you guys to bring someone and to make it more better, So all the community could come and see that we're actually putting in work and helping out others. And that's it.
We want to give a special shout out to the Freedom Ride program, Shark Tank, Project Kinship, and Dr. Galicia.
And I want to say thank you to everyone that came and are here to support us. Thank you to Joey, Jimmy, my group members, Dr. Galicia, everybody. Thank you for the 100% support that you guys gave us.
So hopefully all of you will get to go to that mural unveiling. We'll be posting the updates on our website, the Freedom Ride Project, and you can see when they're having that mural opening and you can go watch and support them. So the next team is the Mirror Empowerment Team, Cindy and Eileen and Millie. Please help me welcome the Mirror Empowerment Team.
Hi, I'm Millie. I'm the mentor for these two wonderful young women. They're going to share a little bit about the project, and then later on I'll share what it was like to be a mentor and work with these students. So they're going to do a bilingual speech. So anyway, go ahead, girls.
Hi, my name is Cindy Barcenas, and I am the social media photographer for the Empowerment Team. And this is Eileen Aguilar, and she will be translating everything I say in Spanish. Our project centers around the idea of low self-esteem. We want to remind boys and girls that they aren't some object that can be passed around. Our project was inspired by a story of a survivor, Monique. She told us that when she was working in the sex industry, she felt worthless and she thought she didn't deserve help. We had a vision of a compact, non-gender-specific mirror to address self-esteem issues for adolescents at risk. Our mirrors have an empowerment message, no price tags, and also include the number to text if a vulnerable individual is preyed upon or they witness suspicious activity. Our main audience are adolescents and vulnerable groups like kids in foster care systems. Most people think that these are just things that happen in movies. I, for one, was ignorant too. But now educated, we want to share awareness and teach boys and girls how to protect themselves and others. We want to remind them that they are unique, valued, fierce, courageous, and worthy, and that there is hope. We are most proud to know that there are people, including our fellow students, that are involved to help bring solutions to the problems through our mentors, including survivors of exploitation. We understand the situation and can participate in whatever way to protect ourselves and others. Come visit our booth and buy a mirror and donate a mirror.
Su nombre es Cindy Barcenas y ella es la fotógrafa de medios sociales del equipo Mirror Empowerment. Yo soy Elina Aguilar, la líder estudiante del proyecto y traduciré sus comentarios en español. Nuestro proyecto está enfocando en el concepto de la autoestima baja. Queremos recordar a los jóvenes que no son objetivos que pueden ser compartidos con cualquiera. La inspiración para nuestro proyecto vino de la historia de Monique, una sobreviviente. Ella nos contó que durante su tiempo como trabajadora sexual se sentía sin valor y sin derecho de pedir ayuda. Tuvimos la idea de usar un pequeño espejo, algo sin género, para enfrentar los problemas de autoestima que sufren los adolescentes y que están en riesgo. Nuestro espejo lleva un mensaje poderoso, sin etiqueta de precio. Incluye un número al cual se puede mandar un mensaje de texto si una persona vulnerable siente que está siendo acusado o acusada, si es testigo de alguna actividad sospechosa. Nuestro público principal son los jóvenes y miembros del grupos vulnerables como jóvenes en el sistema de familias de crianza. Mucha gente cree que estos temas solo se ven en las películas. Yo también era ignorante, pero ahora que estoy informada, queremos compartir nuestro conocimiento y enseñar a los jóvenes a protegerse y a proteger a otros. Queremos recordarles que son únicos, valiosos, fierros, valientes y que hay esperanza. Nos sentimos orgullosos de saber que hay personas, incluyendo nuestros compañeros de clase, que están interesados en traer soluciones a los problemas por medio de nuestros mentores, incluyendo algunos sobrevivientes de abuso. Entendemos la situación y podemos participar en la manera necesaria para proteger a nosotros y a otros. Visiten nuestra mesa y compren un espejo. Gracias.
Thank you, Mirror Empowerment Project. So now we have our last project. You're going to get to see this wonderful film that was made by Brianna and her friend Esmeralda with Rose and some other actors that will be here today. But first, they're going to talk about the film, and then they're going to show us the film. So please welcome Brianna and Ruthie.
I don't know what to say. It's okay. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brianna. Yeah.
I'm Ruthie Hanchert, her mentor. So Brianna, tell me what your project was about.
It was about a girl who is, her friend is being trafficked, and she's trying to get her best friend to go into the sex industry with her without her knowing, and she's having her boyfriend play a Romeo pimp, and he's luring her into the industry.
So we worked with another student, Esmeralda, one of your good friends, and unfortunately she couldn't be here today. But this film that we're going to show was written by Esmeralda and Brianna themselves and then acted by other students. And I think you'll find it's very powerful. What was your message, what was your hope of creating this film, Brianna?
That girls and guys aren't alone, and that it's okay to speak up even if you're scared and anything could happen.
Okay. So we're going to show the film in just a minute. Is there someone you want to dedicate it to?
My friend Esmeralda, Rose, and Jennifer.
All right. So we would love to show you, to enjoy the world premiere of the untold truth. But Brianna wrote that film, and she was the star actress. All of the actors, you saw Luis, Giancarlo's here, other actors from the school, they made that film, you guys. And that's why it's so powerful. I've been working in this industry for a long time, and I can tell you that is such a powerful film because it's written by young people who understand the issues, who use their own language to tell the story of what they see and experience and to teach others. And it is incredibly powerful. I am so proud of my team. Well, in addition to being the mentor for Brianna and Esmeralda and this team, along with Ash, our other mentor, I have gotten the opportunity to get to know all of the Freedom Ambassadors this school year because I was one of the co-founders, co-dreamers with Beth and others as we created this Freedom Ambassador program. You know, I normally teach, I'm Ruthie, handshake again, and I normally teach at Vanguard University an undergraduate course on human trafficking. And I also get to coach the Live to Free Club, and we go out to high schools and junior highs and churches throughout Orange County for usually a one-time, one-hour presentation. And that raises awareness and creates an opportunity for dialogue. But to really protect young people, to really prevent human trafficking, we need to be investing in them. We need to empower people to know about human trafficking, but also with the ability to say no to the tricks of traffickers, the ability to resist exploitation and abusive relationships. We want young people to not just know, but have the power to act and to do. And we also have this vision of raising up leaders like our Live to Free students who are abolitionists, who are going to be the future of this movement today and going forward. So that work requires time and relationship. So when we welcomed this opportunity to invest more long-term in young people, it happened to be at Valley High School this year, to become leaders in their community. So I got to represent the Global Center for Women in Justice and Live to Free, and we had the privilege of partnering with Freedom Ride and Project Kinship and Valley High School to create this new opportunity. I worked with my Live to Free college students, many of them are here today, to adopt to take what our model that worked, the peer-to-peer model that we knew was meaningful and effective, and then also take what I would normally teach in a college class, you know, over 16 weeks of college, and adapt it to be more friendly, more fun, more engaging for high schoolers. But really, they were getting, in many ways, a college education in these weeks. And so these college students volunteered their time every Friday over the fall semester to come and invest through teaching high schoolers, but really it's because of their deep personal commitment to this issue that they showed up every week. And I loved watching my Live to Free students from Vanguard as they really learned more about these issues of human trafficking through the process of teaching others, because you don't know something until you have to teach it, right? And I loved watching the connections and the relationships that formed between my students from Vanguard and the Valley High School students as they connected and related to one another and formed this relationship of partnership to really address human trafficking in the community. You know, I've studied this issue of youth engagement, empowerment, and child participation for a number of years. It's what I've built much of my career on. And, you know, up close, it's complex, it's hard work, it's messy, it's challenging sometimes, but it's also really beautiful and super powerful, and they deserve it. Because young people deserve, they have the right to be involved in the issues that affect them, to have a voice in what we do about it, and to be a part of the movement, to partner with adults in that process. And so what we did was we welcomed this opportunity, but these young people chose to spend their lunch periods every Friday of fall semester, and then all throughout the spring semester. They've dedicated their time from lunches, from Saturdays, from after school hours to work on their projects, to be here today to make a difference. And they've come, I believe it's because, you know, we've mentioned that when we first came to this school, people knew about trafficking, but they didn't know what they could do about it. And I believe that they've come to understand the power they have to make a difference, that their personal choices matter, and that they can be leaders in this movement. And I've seen these kids grow and mature. They've demonstrated resilience in the face of challenges and hard things that have come up with their projects. And they've really executed these projects and initiated themselves. All the projects, the ideas, were their own ideas that they executed, you guys. I see them as being bold leaders, spreading the messages on their campus, getting up in front of all these adults in this big stage. You know, that takes a lot of bravery and courage to stand up here, to stand up in their school during their assembly that they're planning, and to speak out about these really tough issues that affect them and others in their community. And I've seen them step out in bravery, in vulnerability, to realize that they may be the ones who do save a life, who do notice and speak to their friend who's being exploited or trafficked by an abusive relationship. Or they may be the one that mentions to that relative that that exploitive relationship, job where they're not being paid appropriately is actually human trafficking. These kids are speaking out, they're being leaders, and I am so proud of them. Not just in a maternalistic, oh, that's so nice you did that. I'm proud of them because they rock, and they did an amazing job. They have become ambassadors of hope and freedom that have inspired us, and I am grateful to have been a part of your journey and support you in that.
Thank you, Ruthie. So we're going to have one more mentor come up and speak to you. Millie Guest, please welcome her from the Mirror Empowerment Project. She's going to talk to you about her experience as a mentor.
Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, here we go. So I'm Millie Guest. The Mirror Project was birthed out of the students' desire to address low self-esteem in vulnerable adolescents. In 4 minutes, I know you're all really tired, I'll share about my experience as Freedom Ambassador and Mentor, about the students, Aileen and Cindy, whom you met, and how you can get involved. Mentoring appealed to me because the program made sense. I could employ all my passions, fighting human exploitation, equipping students, education, business, and community transformation. The 132 volunteer hours over 3 months and 290 miles logged for on-campus meetings were all worth it. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes determination and hard work. There is no price tag for lives changed from this project. 3 nonprofit organizations will make sure our mirrors get into the hands of Orange County's vulnerable. The foster youth, 60% susceptible to trafficking, and the 27 homeless school-aged minors. My greatest reward as a mentor was to see how these sophomore students' self-esteem changed too. Their confidence became reflections of the mirrors they conceptualized. I saw a change in their professionalism, articulation, commitment, and academic endeavors to reach their goal of becoming surgeons. We mixed conversation at after-school meetings about business fundamentals and life skills, such as tips for merging onto a freeway as a new driver. They began to recognize that their idea had scalability and unlimited potential. This is how I saw them too, stretchable. I praised their persistence for securing meetings with Dr. Galicia, their preparation for meetings, and follow-up with thank you notes. I knew instantly something changed in my 2 mentees when they adamantly rejected the first mirror prototype. It looked cheap and disposable, attributes they didn't want to convey to a recipient with low self-esteem. They applied a user experience exercise we did to create a package that was more cohesive to their brand and target audience. They paid attention to details, non-gender specific mirrors, handwritten personalized tags, bilingual card inserts with researched facts and calls to action. Academically, both students are smart, compassionate leaders. Cindy is taking chemistry and part of a team headed to Sacramento for a statewide competition for future health professionals. Aileen, the student leader, is a math whiz and works hard for her grades. 2 weeks into the new semester, she upgraded herself to an honors geometry class. Her math teacher recommended her to skip a math level next year. I was so proud when she initiated and facilitated the discussion with Dr. Galicia on ideas about how best to transition the project to Valley High after the conference. Hello. How does one become a mentor? Complete an online application on the Freedom Ride Bike website, get interviewed, clear a secure live scan, and adhere to mentor protocol. Mentors shared best practices on weekly calls to help one another. I've listed a few of the roles and the critical success factors that worked with my team. As you scan this slide, do know that the project finished early and under budget. After this conference, mirror distribution and ongoing knowledge transfer about anti-human trafficking will occur through a student-run and an advisor-monitored club. A club will determine how to continue income generation and mirror distribution. Aileen and Cindy have been empowered to carry forward this legacy project so future Valley High students will benefit from what they've built and learned about human trafficking. By now, you're probably asking yourself, how can I help? I implore you to mute and reject any excuse to not engage. If you have no money, pray for those trying to make a difference, and especially for those tragically impacted. Praying is free and powerful. Stop by our table over there in the corner to learn about mentoring and buy mirrors. Donate mirrors to 3 nonprofit organizations who will give the mirrors to at-risk youth. In just 3 months, this team manifested their dream into a vehicle to prevent or end the nightmare of others. For just $5, you can play a role in stopping crime too. Thank you.
So our next speaker is going to be Stephen Kim, who you've heard this morning, but he's going to talk to us about his partnership with the Freedom Ambassador Program. Welcome, Stephen.
I'll just be brief. I've already spoken too much. So really come up and say thank you very much to Dr. Sandy Morgan, to Beth, and everyone who's been a part of this program. You know, I love community stuff, so I know I have 4 minutes, but I'm going to do it in a minute and a half. Just look to somebody next to you and give them 1 or 2 words on what this conference has meant to you up to this point. So just go ahead and talk. All right. This morning, we wanted to envision a world where hope lives and the cycle of despair ends. And the question comes is, how do you create a world with so much pain, a world where hope actually lives and the cycle of despair ends? I think there are many answers, but the answer is in this room, that you create a world where love flourishes and it goes through hate. And whether you like it or not, all of you have taken the time to come to this place today are part of that movement, are a part of that heartbeat that says, I won't stand away from injustice. I won't stay silent when there are other folks who are struggling. And I will walk to, as my mentor Raymond says, that we need to walk back into the darkness to walk folks out. And all of you have decided to take that walk, and some of you guys have run to that place in the valley where this unspeakable pain exists. And as you meet that pain, you say, I won't stand still, and I've come to walk this out with you in love. And love will always walk through hate. It's not easy, but it will always walk through hate, especially of those of us who are of the faith we know that the ultimate love was provided on the cross. And so it's an honor and privilege for Project Kinship to work with you on this, to walk in love, to say we won't stand still, and we'll walk towards creating a world where hope lives and doing our part to dismantling the cycle of despair. And so you all should be very proud of yourself, knowing that we are building upon and standing on the shoulders of many of those who have gone before us to set the way for us. And as we do our part, we leave an avenue for those behind us to follow. So in the famous words of Lilo and Stitch, Ohana means family, nobody gets left behind. But if you leave, I'll remember you though. In the famous words of Reuben, welcome to kinship, where judgment and pain are left at the door. You are home. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. I would like to welcome up Stacy Debo Reynolds, the Director of Student Achievement and Wellness from the OC Department of Education. Help me welcome her.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Sandy Morgan. Thank you to Valley High School and its leadership, for the school district, Ruthie, everyone who was involved in this project. I'm speaking on behalf of our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Al Mijares, and basically, really quickly, just wanted to share with you that at the Orange County Department of Education, while we support all of the school districts in the county with their academic initiatives, we understand the value of educating the whole child, supporting the whole child. This is a different approach from just strictly focusing on academic achievement. This is very important to us. Some of you heard me speaking yesterday about the importance of youth participation and making sure that it was meaningful involvement. Is this not the perfect example of those higher rungs of the heart's ladder? We are so excited to have heard from these students today, and I hope that we will continue to hear from them. We're going to connect them with our newsroom and share their story with all of our districts in the hopes that these kinds of efforts we can spread countywide. The other thing I wanted to plug very quickly is our kindness initiative. What our superintendent didn't share yesterday in the morning that I think he would really love for me to share right now is that we have an initiative called 1 Billion Acts of Kindness. That is his goal. It may sound audacious, but I really believe that little acts of kindness go a long way. We've seen in Anaheim, they had a goal of 1 million and they achieved that. We believe that as a county, if one city can achieve 1 million, that we as a county can achieve 1 billion. So please join us. Our website is kindness1billion.org. That's it. I'll repeat it one more time, kindness1billion.org. We even have an app now that you can download and very quickly log an act of kindness anytime you experience one. By the way, it does give you a little bit of confetti and makes you feel really good when you do that or when someone's had an act for you. You can even record multiple acts of kindness. But as the speaker yesterday, Dr. Park, said, you know, this comes down to love. And Ken Morris explained education equals freedom. You know, we want love to be part of education. We believe that it has a huge impact on our students, on our community, and on the future leadership of our county. Thank you very much.
So now we're going to start the award part for the Freedom Ambassadors, and not just the Freedom Ambassadors, but everybody that's been in this program. But I have a couple special guests that I'm going to be introducing to you. And one of them is a surprise for the students of Valley High School that's going to help me pass out the award. So please help me welcome Mrs. Monique Calderon.
Thank you.
Do you want to say something quickly or not?
Sure, yeah. Guys, I am so proud of you. You guys did amazing work. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the survivor that they were talking about. I'm a survivor overcomer of sexual exploitation. And thank you. Yeah, and thank you. I had the honor of speaking with all of these wonderful people that have come up and done amazing projects. And I want to say it was pretty much at the almost at the very beginning of the program. So to see how they blossomed, how they were up here speaking so eloquently, and just had such knowledge on sexual exploitation, on human trafficking. I am so proud of you guys, all of you. Thank you so much for what you've done.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to call out the names of the students. They're going to come up, and then you get a photo opportunity with Monique and I up here on stage. Take your certificate, and then you'll line up here, and we'll get everybody on the stage eventually, okay? So I'm going to start out with our students. Angelica Abarca. Do you want to hand them the certificates? Yeah. Go ahead. Are you taking a picture? Okay, good. So you can. Congratulations. You can walk up on. Angelica, do you want to just line up here? Then? Yeah. Ashley Hernandez. And these are in recognition of the prestigious title of a Freedom Ambassador and your contribution to end human trafficking. I'll do one with me and then with her alone. Daisy Antunes. Yeah, she's limping because she twisted her ankle. She's our runner, and she twisted her ankle running, so. Daisy Reina. Daisy. That's great.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Kevin Carvajal? Kevin. I was trying to pronounce the last name. There he is. Woo, Kevin.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Jordy Bernabe. Luis Martinez. Woo-hoo. Our movie star.
Yeah.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
Good, how are you? Good, you did a great job. Wow, congratulations.
Jeffrey Lopez. Cindy Barceras. Aileen Aguilar. Congratulations to our Freedom Ambassadors. Okay, stay up there. Why don't you go down and get a picture with all the Freedom Ambassadors standing down there? Oh, Brianna. Brianna, okay. Brianna, I have your certificate in here. Okay.
Yes, Brianna.
I'm going to hold you. I'm going to give you this thing because I can't find this. Okay, so let's get a picture with all the Freedom Ambassadors and with Monique. Scooch together. Okay, now I would like to thank our mentors. I'm going to make this a little quicker. Thomas Laux. He's the mentor for the mural team. Ash Narayan. Come up and receive your... Yeah, come up. Tom, come up. Ash? Yeah. Here we go. Congratulations. That's right. Ruthie Hanchett, there you are. Congratulations. Millie Guess. Andrea Murillo. Woo! Jimmy Rumsey. Is he down there? Okay, Tamara Manson. Eric Douglas, her husband. They were the Hope Alive team. Now we're going to start. Well, Marissa Morel, who is both a mentor and a coach. Janae Kreitner, who was on our Shark Tank. I think she's here. Maybe she was going to be here. Okay. We have Stephen Kim for our partnership. Dr. Sandy Morgan. Dr. Hector Galicia. And we have the Live to Free students. So Ruthie, I'm going to need your help with these. Udalis?
Idalis? Is Idalis still here?
Go through quickly.
Here comes Idalis. All right. Yay, Idalis! Cassidy Desmore, I don't believe she's here today. Karina Aleman, I don't think she's here either. Merve Maroya. Ariana Morales cannot be with us. Angeles Hernandez is here. Anna Hernandez. Carrie Hannah Lansing. And we want to recognize Giancarlo Morici for his role in the film.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, I have some acknowledgments for our film crew. Austin Thompson, if you're here. He made the movie, or was the director or the supporting director for The Untold Truth. Here we go. We have ones for your parents. Brandon Crouch, I know you're on camera there. Brianna and Esmeralda, we have, for Esmeralda, we have. Ruthie. Melissa Rodriguez, come up too. Melissa. Okay, now we have a special guest, and she's going to hand out the helmets to the students. So we want the Freedom Ambassadors to stay up here. And I would like to welcome Chief Anastasia Smith, the Chief of Police of Santa Ana, who's coming out to honor the students. The Freedom Ambassadors, stay up here. Welcome, Chief Smith.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Anastasia Smith, and I'm actually the chief of the Santa Ana School Police. It's really an honor and a privilege to be with you here today and to recognize these incredible young people from Valley High School and their support network as well. Just a little bit about me before coming up here to take over as the chief of police. I worked in law enforcement in San Diego for 28 years. And I spent about 10 years of my career working in child abuse, sex crimes, and human trafficking. I was the commander of the Human Trafficking Task Force and the vice commander. So one of the things that we started seeing, and I was asked to make this connection between what these students are doing here and what they are also encountering in their life in Santa Ana. And there is a really strong connection, and something we dealt with starting back in 2010. And that is when our well-known documented gangs began using human trafficking to support their gang activity. In fact, human trafficking became their #2 moneymaker. And the reason that was is because when they sold their narcotics were gone. When they had a girl to sell, they could sell her 10, 11, 12 times a night. So it touched my heart when Stephen Kim talked about walking into the darkness, because in working those operations at 2 and 3 in the morning, we had to walk into that darkness every night. And I'm just going to share one personal account. I have many over the years, but there was one story that really touched me, and it was middle school girls. And my team had convinced me to allow them to work undercover early in the morning on Thanksgiving because they wanted to go home and have Thanksgiving with their families. And I said, what can we possibly do on Thanksgiving morning? So we went out to one of the known locations for a prostitution track in San Diego, and we took up surveillance of 3 young girls. They looked to be about 13 years old. And then I sent the undercover detectives in after we saw the pimp contacting them several times. The girls solicited my undercovers, and we called these rescue operations because these girls, we didn't arrest them, we rescued them. And when we contacted them and we brought them back to the station, I remember sitting down with them and they were shivering and they were cold. And all 3 of them kept saying they were hungry. So we all got out our wallets and went and got them food. But we said, why are you so hungry? When we searched them, they each had $300 to $400 on them. And we had watched them passing in front of the McDonald's numerous times that morning. And they said, because we're not allowed to use that money. That's the pimp's money. And if we touch that money, he will beat us. And then they told us that he put them in a hotel every night. All of them shared one room, and they got 1 meal a day. So those are the realities of human trafficking. And we embarked on a huge endeavor to strengthen the laws regarding the penalties for pimps. But there was one group that we never touched that was part of our team to rescue those girls. And the group we didn't touch was the students who could be there to support them. So today, I'm so impressed. You've all touched my heart that you as students have now stepped up to the plate to be part of that team to rescue those kids. So congratulations to all of you.